Hello everyone, welcome back to Dad Life Fishing Adventures, and today we're going to be talking about how to build your own custom-made chatterbaits using parts and pieces purchased from Barlow Tackle. And I will include their website as well as the list of items that I purchased that you're watching used today. So what we're going to be talking about and what this is looking like and give me an idea of why you might want to do this is, one, you can do this as kind of like an investment. You can build these and sell them, but you can also build exactly what you want for your fishing conditions. So this right here, you can see, is 100 chatterbaits. 100 chatterbaits, hand-picked pieces. If you make 100 of the same exact color, it's a little bit cheaper, but this is 10 different colors, 10 of each. Though I'll talk about a couple of things I did for cost savings, but all this together cost a little under $300. So you basically got $3 per bait in this. And let's talk, these are high quality baits. And at the end of this video, I'm going to show you a short of a couple bass that I caught using these baits as kind of a test run before I shot this video, so I can tell you in certain that these are high quality baits and are what you're looking for. So let's talk about the parts and pieces that come together building a chatterbait. It's not rocket science, but you do need a couple things. So probably the primary thing that you're going to start picking is your head. So the actual head body itself, and you've got to get a chatterbait or swim jig or spinnerbait type body that has a notch to hold the skirt, and also has a keeper for any soft plastic trailers, and you want a nice 4/0 size hook. The body that I picked is a jet black, no eyes, just a nice wide head. And one thing I noticed with Barlow Tackle, I've purchased from another couple tackle makers over the time, and their paint jobs and paint longevity on their pieces is way nicer than what I've gotten in the past. So when you're putting on the split rings and you're doing parts and things, you're not rubbing paint off all the time. That has been very nice. The next thing that you're going to be looking at is skirt colors. So you can do what I did and look at 10 variations of skirt colors. You can obviously buy this in smaller quantities too, but you won't get as much savings. And one of the reasons why I went with all jet black heads is because the more you purchase of one item, the lower that cost per item comes. So 10 is kind of a starting point, but when you purchase 100, you get that for a little bit cheaper if they're all the same. So all the heads are that jet black color you see on the table. And what we have here is basically the last piece of the whole puzzle. So this skirt is a beautiful silver skirt. I really like it. I'm going to hold it up here a little bit closer so you can see that. It's got some black speck, also has some almost like gold and silver flake in it. Really is that perfect shad mimic color. It's got some nice length to it, so if you like the longer skirt, you can keep that, or you can trim it down, which is always an important piece. The next two pieces, one is your actual chatterbait head, or the piece, and they come in these nice 10 packs. Open one of these up here real quick. They come on out. One of them always likes to get stuck in there. Alright, so this piece, this is the nickel finish, so you can see that. And it's got the 3 primary holes that you need to hook the bait together in 2 of these round holes. And these round holes allow for air bubbles to pass through the blade of the jig, and that adds to the action of the bait. So if it's a flat blade with no holes drilled into it, it acts differently with this. And I've had the flat no hole option and built baits with those, and I've used this one time on the water and it already produces better. I really like this feature. So when you're picking up the blade for the bait, look for something that's going to allow the air bubbles to pop through, and it'll give it just a little bit more of a quality motion. So the next item is what really makes for longevity and quality of the bait. And these are, sometimes things that if you're building baits and don't know what you're looking for, you might just pass over kind of early and be like, it doesn't matter. A split ring is a split ring, and a all-purpose snap is an all-purpose snap. That's not true. So one of the things when I first built a set of custom chatterbaits, I used some knockoff split rings and pro snaps, and while the bait produced and functioned the way it should, it had the nagging issue of the split rings pulling free when they were snagged, and just you would come back with just the snap and the blade, and so that was kind of frustrating. So I wanted to really upgrade these parts, and so I think this is extremely important to use a brand like Owner in your parts. Make sure that you're getting good value. So what we did here, and I'll show you these packages close. So for the all-purpose snap, we're using these Owner Pro parts, and they come in a 12-pack, and they're 32-pound tests, and that's an important piece right there. And then also using the Owner Pro Parts Hyperwire split ring, and these are 37-pound test. So when you're looking at this, that means that you can get in there and fight off a snag. You can fight a large fish. I know that muskies and northern pike love chatterbaits. So you want parts and pieces that could take that on. And what if you hook a hog of a bass and it gets stuck and wound around trees and stuff? You don't want to be yanking and pulling and then find out that the thing that failed was your split ring. So quality parts make for quality baits. So what do you need and how do you put it together? Well, we're going to demonstrate actually putting it together live in front of you, which is a little nerve-wracking because sometimes parts and pieces can be a little stubborn. But I'm going to tell you some tips and tricks to help get it as easy as possible so that you can be as focused on, hey, can you actually put 100 baits together in a couple nights? Yes, you can. First of all, it takes a lot of dexterity. You need quality equipment. So I would highly suggest getting these Xuron split ring pliers. They have a nice tooth and notch that help hold the split rings. They have a spring back that makes it very comfortable, and they're easy, lightweight. I've actually got 2 of them, so somebody else wants to help out. Or if you need to take one on the road to switch out some split rings, it's always a great tool to have. Now the next thing, so there's kind of a progression of things that you want to do. So you can kind of start on one of 2 sides. You can either put the skirt on the head or the split ring on the blade. So we're going to start by putting the split ring on the blade and just do that. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to put the split ring on the split ring pliers. So let's do that right now. And we dropped it already. So that's kind of part of it. So what you want to do, and I'll show it up to you here in a second. Okay, so what you want to do is you've opened up the split ring. You can see that. You want enough of the end of the split ring, the little tag, sticking out so that you have enough space to stick the split ring in the bottom hole. So you're aiming for the bottom hole of the blade. You stick the tag in there, and then you use the split ring pliers like that, and you twist it using the pliers to grip, and you just twist it around until it snaps fully in place. So now you have the split ring is freely moving on there, nice and easy. Okay, so now that we have that, we have a split ring and a blade. Next, we need to put the skirt on the jig. Okay, I'm going to tell you probably my biggest learning curve. If you're using these pre-constructed skirts, or skirts that you make yourself, if you're into that, it's very easy to ruin a skirt while trying to put it on the jig head. So the one tool that I said changed the making of these baits and making it so much easier is use a little bit of hand soap in the process. So I got my handy dandy hand soap that I stole from the kids' bathroom. Don't tell them, they're sleeping. And just put a little bit on, just like so. So see, just put a little bit of hand soap on there. That way, when you go to push the skirt on, you can actually see that it will help the skirt slide through. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to take the hook and stick it through the top of the skirt, which has a little bit wider rubber O-ring in it, and stick it through, and you're going to pull it straight, kind of weave it in there and get it to the first keeper. And this is the keeper for your soft plastic trailer. You're going to take your thumb and your index finger on both sides and you're going to gently push it to that first piece, and it pops in there. It feels pretty natural, but that's not where you want to end. So you keeping your pressure, you're going to go ahead and gently push it up onto that next level. Once you got it nice and snug, you basically have a swim jig. Now you're going to add the head to it. So this takes your split ring pliers back again, and this is one of the reasons why you want quality parts, because you got to open that split ring a couple times, which means that if it's a cheap split ring, you're going to start to weaken it. So you want that owner hyperwire construction to help keep it as strong as possible. You know, link it on to the head, and again, paint quality. You want as much of that paint to stay on there as possible. So these heads that I used, and again, product description in the description of this video, are quality enough that they don't lose a lot of paint when you're putting these split rings on, which is awesome. So you use the same technique, grabbing the split ring with the pliers, spinning it until it snaps through, and there you go. Now you have a completely free hanging chatterbait. And all you have to do is then add the feature that you tie onto, which is the snap, all-purpose snap. So you use your thumb to open up the snap. You then put the snap through. I'll show you here up close. This is one of the more tricky parts. Holding the bait the way that it travels through the water. So you want the back of the head facing down. You stick this piece through the bottom hole all the way. Rotate it around like so, and pop it back through, and then close the snap, and boom, you have a completed chatterbait. Once you're in the hang of it, and when you're not videotaping yourself and doing it extra slow and talking about it, you can snap through these pretty quick, which is pretty awesome. Getting quality parts, quality pieces makes it a lot easier. Note a couple things in the setup. Have a nice table space. Also have a room clear of things that you can get pieces lost underneath. So when you're working with split rings, if you open it up and then do something a little funny, they'll shoot across the room. You want to be able to find that part, because when you're ordering this, you kind of want to think about exactly how much you need. And you know, you get a few extra pieces because this comes in 12 packs, this comes in 16 packs, the skirts come in 10 packs, the heads come in 10 packs, the blades come in 10 packs. So you do a little math and you get a little run over here and there. But you want to get as close as possible, so you're trying to save money or you're trying to make some money by selling these products. So if you are interested in supporting Race Life, Dad Life, and Dad Life Fishing Adventures, what we're going to be doing, I think the best way, is that we're going to be offering these chatterbaits in sets. So you'll get 10 chatterbaits for $60 plus shipping. So if you're interested in supporting the channel, supporting our growth, and fishing some epic chatterbaits, again, the end of this video is going to be some shorts that I shot while night fishing with this beauty right here, this black and blue awesome chatterbait. I think it's going to get the name of Midnight, which it does great for, but it's a great all-time bait. We've got some awesome colors. I'm going to go through them real quick here. This is your prototypical bluegill pattern with nice oranges and yellows and blues. We already talked about Midnight. We have a couple variations on this kind of shad, sexy shad type color. So we have one, and then we have another, and they're just a little bit different from each other, which is kind of cool. So one has a little bit more of a deeper color, a darker color, and one a little bit lighter color. So you almost get a little bit of green in the one, and a little bit more of that shimmery gold in the other. Thought that was really cool play. We have this really nice brown coloration, kind of that living crawdad type color, and then a crazy color. I think you just like, this is gonna be like rock star or something like that. It's got purples, it's got greens, it's got little black flake, it's got everything going there. And then you've got another panfish pattern, but this is a little bit more like a long ear panfish. We have this really cool green and white color. It'll mimic a lot of your bait fish in lots of creeks and rivers and lakes, that chub type color. We also have more of a golden color, kind of those a little bit of chub, shiner type coloration. And then your prototypical, the one that we just spent the time today building together, and that is your shad, the white and silver. Beautiful coloration. So remember what we went through? Check out the video description. We'd love for you to join in our YouTube family by helping us by purchasing a set. Again, 10 for $60 plus shipping. It's a great deal. We're ready to go. If things go well, we'll make another set. We'll do some more videos on bait making along the way. But again, learning from experience, and check out these great catches right at the end. Don't forget, there are going to be 2 nice shorts showing fish that we caught with the Midnight black color, black and blue color. So check it out. And thanks for watching. We greatly appreciate it. Drop us a comment if you have any questions, or if you just want to support the channel. Those comments and thumbs up, like button pounding, those help the algorithm, help us grow as a channel, help us get out to new people. And if you are new here, consider subscribing. Join the family. Dad Life Fishing Adventures, as well as Reese Life Dad Life. We'd love to have you as part of the family. So with that, check out these videos, and God bless, and we'll see you next time out on the water.
Hey boys, that's why you go night fishing right there. Just under 17 inches. Beautiful largemouth bass. Let's let her go and let her grow. Thanks, baby. You want to know why you fish at night with chatterbait? Big girls like that, baby. Let's let them go and let them grow. Thank you, fish. Yes.